Hello and welcome back to my show. Direct Dil Se presents Bad Engineer in association with Dream Publications, Infinite Dreams, Infinite Possibilities. इस शो को स्टार्ट करने से पहले मैं ये बता दूं कि ये शो इज डेडिकेटेड टुवर्ड्स शेयरिंग आवर एक्सपीरियंसेस। तो इस शो को एंड तक देखें और अगर ये किसी भी तरह से आपके लिए फ़ायदेमंद होता है तो प्लीज़ लाइक करें, कमेंट करें और सब्सक्राइब करें टू द चैनल डायरेक्ट दिल से। आइए लेट्स स्टार्ट।
So, welcome to my show, Sandeep. And before I start the show, I would like to let the viewers know this is basically the idea behind the show is to share our experiences with the students or with the professionals who have just started their career. And this is not a one shoe fits all scenario. So, wait for the video to end. If you like the video, then please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you don't like the video, please feel free to write a comment and do let us know how what were your experiences as well. So today we have Mr. Sandeep Reddy. So I have known I have known him since we were in Accenture. So we have been ex-Accenture employees, and he has been great. We work together in something called as Toastmasters as well. So we will come to that later. But before that, Sandeep, I would like you to introduce yourself to our viewers.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, I started off with my career with Accenture initially for 3 years as a software engineer. Then I wanted to do something in the education or healthcare. So that's where after almost 3.5 years, I shifted to a startup named Condur Online. So I worked there for 4 years. I worked in different roles. I shifted to digital marketing, program management, building teams. So I did several roles there. But my MBA was on my head from long time. Probably learn from the peer groups. Go to the best B school possible and look at the ecosystem and grasp as many things as possible. So that is one of the reasons I started preparing for GMAT exam and I cracked IIM Ahemdabad this year. So as of now, we are going virtual, but it's a good ride till now from almost 3-4 months.
So before we come to your management journey, I would like to let my viewers know that my dear friend is an IITN. So IIT, as you all know, is a very prestigious institute. So Sandeep has done his engineering from IIT ISM Dhanbad. So I would like to know, Sandeep, why did you choose engineering? What was the main goal when you had started your board exams once you finished it? When were you mentally ready and decided that now I have to do engineering?
In fact, I come from very orthodox and a rural background. So I only know two things from childhood. Okay, my family, my relatives fed me two things. Okay, you have to become an engineer or doctor. I only know. Okay, these are the only two professions exist in the world. Okay, but as I went through the entire education system till 10th class, what I figured out is I liked maths. So that is one of the triggers which actually pushed me to engineering. So I did not even know IIT exists till my 10th class board exams get over. There is one college named SR College Warangal. They came to me because I was school second topper. They wanted to pick me and they were training around 100 people for IIT. So when I went there, first time I realized there is something called IIT, which are premier institutes in India, and that they take people, there is an exam, they take people, etc. Till then, I only know there is one engineering college near my town and people go there, study, etc. So that's how the journey started. But the faculty in that college were awesome. One professor was He was IIT Kharagpur Kanpur graduate, and he's a retired professor from Anna University. So he used to teach, the kind of maths for 10th and 11th and 12th was awesome. Like I got attracted. So that's how my push for IIT even grow more, especially because of maths. So I used to lack in
So
chemistry.
yeah.
Yeah.
So when you had already set up your dreams, that I have to crack IIT, what were the set of colleges that you were looking to get into?
Okay, so obviously the dream is to go for somehow I looked at Kharagpur and Madras, IIT Kharagpur and Madras.
Okay.
The one reason being when I'm speaking to even my seniors in the college, they went to IIT Bombay. One went to IIT Bombay, so others went to Kharagpur. So when I'm interacting, somehow probably because of the upbringing, etc. So I wanted to be with more Telugu people. So I was told Kharagpur and IIT Madras and more, Telugu guys in their classroom. So I wanted to be comfortable, and I wanted to go there, but it could not happen. Could not happen.
Yeah. So while you were preparing, was there any kind of stress, or did you enjoy your preparation time?
Um, the preparation process in my colleges, they did not. It was parallel. So I was going through 11th and 12th class. Parallelly, there is an IIT training happening, and
IIT
also
training.
we have 6 subjects. Like you have Sanskrit, you have English, and you have Hindi. So these subjects, they did not teach us from the start. Instead, they focused on maths, physics, chemistry, foundations, and uske baad, then they went to the IIT foundation. So that kind of really helped. But I shifted from rural medium to English medium in 11th class. So till 10th class, I was in the rural medium. Then in 11th, I shifted to English. So that kind of screwed me on the chemistry side. So I was good with maths and physics because there are no new words coming up. There are no new sentences or paragraphs. It is just a question, and I could comprehend it. So there I faced a lot of stress. So it was very challenging. I used to slog in the nights. So we have study hours, like 5 we have to wake up, then study. In the end, 10 o'clock it has to end. But if you want to study, you can. So chemistry I used to focus a lot. So that's how. Maths and physics was good. Professors were good.
Yeah. So uh, although we have taken into consideration the focus, and like you said, you like maths. So instead of all this, there is a natural environment, like our family, our relatives. They have a huge set of expectations on us. So as a student, when you are going through all this, how do you suggest that someone should focus and not take too much stress? Because in life, balance is important.
Yeah.
You can't keep stressing upon things and then lose your mental state. So you need to have focus as well, but you also have to have a game plan that, okay, I have to work things out and not take too much pressure. How do you suggest that students should cope up with that?
Yes.
How to handle stress?
Yeah. So one thing, there are 2 kind of stress that you get. I mean, personally from my experience, that one stress that you put on yourself, like you have certain expectations you wanted to. I was telling there are 2 kind of stress that I faced personally. So one is I had some expectations, like in maths I wanted to score some marks, physics and chemistry. That is one kind of stress that students usually face. The other is from the family. They also have set of expectations. They sent you to this college to score well, etc. So that's from the 2 directions you have. So my suggestion is, always have plan B. That's what I feel, because when I was preparing for IIT, I had 2 options also along with IIT. One is AEEE as well as MCET. So in my mind, I always kind of kept one worst case scenario, even if IIT don't happen. So there is one AEEE. So because again you have a time frame between IIT exam, AEEE exam, and MCET exam. MCET is for Telangana and Andhra Pradesh. So that's how you prepare your mind, saying that okay, even if things go wrong, even if you get fever before the exam, something goes wrong. Don't worry, prepare well for the next exam. So that's how I framed my mind, and I never took stress. In fact, people used to get a lot of headaches, etc. when they are preparing, but I never kind of used to get headaches and stuff. No, it was always keep calm, etc. And from my family side also, my father always supported me. He did not. One reason probably being he did not even know much because they don't have itna educational
Much about.
background. So they were only like, okay, even if you get some rank, that's okay, kind of a situation. So from there also, there is not much of a stress. Yeah.
So how many entrance exams did you give?
I gave IIT JEE and IEEE and MSET. Apart from that, because of my love for maths, I wrote ISI Calcutta exam as well, but I could not clear. Last week,
Oh wow.
3-4 marks cut off. So I wanted to go there. Somehow I could not make it.
But you had a good rank both in your IIT JEE as well as your MSET, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
so
IEEE also.
for
Not
MSET, which college were you getting?
in MSET. Probably I was getting third and fourth college. For example, I was getting CBIT, Vasavi kind of colleges in Hyderabad.
CBIT is also a good
Yeah.
college. So once the result was out for IIT, so were you elated that yeah, now my dream is going to come true, or you were more bothered about what college are you going to get, what stream are you going to choose? Because generally when you are at that age, you are wondering which college to get in. You already have a set of ideas like, okay, I will choose this stream and I'm going to study this. So what kind of confusions or issues that you kind of had to deal with when the IIT results were out?
So one thing is, I cracked. MSET was very good rank. It was lower rank than IIT. So a lot of my friends, relatives suggested me go with MSET because ISM already results came, and ISM is far away from my state. I am from
Nice.
Hyderabad, nearby. So everybody pushed me to sit in the home state and study here because I was getting third, fourth best colleges in Andhra Pradesh, Telangana. So that is one confusion that I had this time. The other being which branch to select. This time, CSC is not that famous. Electronics and communication is very famous. 2008 time pay. So, but somehow I was kind of fascinated with computers, etc. I wanted CSC. So these are the two things that instead of, apart from computer science, I was more into the maths kind of courses also. I was looking at maths and computing, etc. Those courses as well. So these are the two. But ultimately, I decided, okay, I don't want to be here because from childhood I've been in the same state. I wanted to go out and explore. So that is one of the reasons I went to ISM, and the best decisions I have made. The other thing being, even though I tried for maths and computing, all those things, unfortunately, these are integrated course which are going for 5 years. So I don't want to go for a 5-year degree. So I chose electronics and communications, which came in ISM Dhanbad.
And do you consider, like in medical, they have now formatted a single exam for all the seats throughout India? Would you rather consider a similar situation for engineering, or you still want to have multiple entrance exams, whatever is being conducted right now?
The one challenge, especially from the students from the poorer backgrounds, one exam will help, but if you can repeat that exams once in 6 months, that also helps because
Yeah.
there are some challenges or some situations that you cannot control. They are out of your control. So a student should not lose an opportunity to get into a good college because there are some unforeseen circumstances. So in my opinion, one exam should be fine, but if there is a possibility of taking it for 2 times, that would be better. It will
Yeah.
save on the cost.
Yeah, correct. So now considering, right, when you were telling about the dilemma of choosing a stream, so quite often the questions have come that do you consider a good college and less means interesting stream, or the stream which you like but not a good college? What will be the best option here? Because I have seen students leaving NIT just because they were not happy with the stream that they were getting, and they instead tried to sit for another 1 more year. So do you think was it a good option to choose NIT rather than sitting a year, or was it a better choice to sit for 1 year and get a better college and a better stream?
It depends actually on your goals. For example, you have an ambition of going for MS or MTech, then PhD, etc. So there you aim for that core course that you are targeting. For example, electronics and communication or mechanical design, etc. There are some courses in some places in IITs or NITs. So there are some courses which are famous for these particular niche specializations. Otherwise, I would personally think usually you learn problem solving skills to some extent. You don't understand the subject in depth. It is just an overall, but you learn problem solving skills. The other thing is the peer group. Your peer group matters a lot. That's where you kind of your ambitions, you get to see their ambitions, your ambitions grow, you open your thought process, etc. So in that context, I would suggest based on your long-term goal. So if your long-term goal is to get into the research, etc., so then don't compromise on which branch you want it to go in. But if you are looking for a job kind of situation, probably go to a college where there are better exposure. For example, look for metro kind of colleges, for Bangalore cities or Chennai city, Hyderabad city, Mumbai city. These kind of cities give you an opportunity to get into startups parallelly when you are in engineering, part-time internships. There you get exposure and you can directly get a job. So it depends on your long-term goal. So you have to take a call based on that.
So like right now we have so many options, doing your own research, but back in our days when we look back, there was not so much of guidance through. So you can either speak to your seniors in school or someone and from there you used to get whatever information you can. But when I look back, I did not had a long-term goal per se, because I did not have an exact idea of what I'm going to do next, what is going to happen in next 1 year. So now when you have so many options, how much do you give priority to research? While if you are going to a college, should a student do a lot of research about different colleges that he can get, the kind of placements the colleges offer, what are the goals? So how much important is to research the college before joining it?
In my time, personally, I did not even know ISM existed till I wrote the exam and till I was applying for the exam, because in the list you get to see all the exams, right? So all the ID names, etc. But now you have plethora of options to look, etc. But researching is a very good option, especially infrastructure and the location. Infrastructure matters a lot. How your college is doing well with industry, how it is connected with the industry, how is the connection with the alum. End of the day, alum brings in the companies. They sit in different positions, very good positions, etc. So online is the secondary. I consider online research is the secondary research, but you should go with the primary research, wherein speak to the current students, if possible, get to speak with the current students, speak with the alums, interact with them, then take a matured decisions rather than jumping into the college because you like it, or it is there, it is like everybody saying it is good, etc. So don't take that kind of decision because it is good. Rather speak to it. And also you need to think of, okay, if I'm going for ECE, how ECE is performing, because every college has this kind of a flagship or department kind of a thing, so wherein they are so good. even though college is not doing so great, but the department wise they might be so good.
That's good.
So you have to, that will help. Research will help in understanding that aspect.
So now coming to when you joined IIT and the first time you landed your foot inside the campus, and what was the feeling? What was the feeling like?
I'll tell you one funny thing that happened is, it was July 20th, I believe, 18th or 18th, 19th, 20th, that kind of July 2008. And we had booked a train. We could not get Falak. There are only two trains to Kolkata. We have to go to Dhanbad from Kolkata. Only two trains. One is Falaknama, one is East Coast. We booked East Coast. We could not get Falaknama. And in between, there was huge floods and tracks are washed away in Odisha. So I was so anxious because there is a deadline to, go there. They've given me a slot, 9 to 12 slot for me. And we had to catch 2-3 trains from, Hooghly or some, I forgot the station. From there, we have to catch another train. By the time we reached Kolkata, we missed the train that we are supposed to catch. So all these things happened, but thankfully, I think we have reached by 8:50. There is a Penman auditorium in ISM. It's a huge 1,000-seater auditorium. So I believe we reached 8:50. I was like, okay, thank God. I was super excited. People are going there, all the families, and it felt like this huge thing I've been fighting from 2 years. There are a lot of late nights that happened, etc. And from last 1.5 days, there is a situation going on whether I'll enter the college or not.
Enter the college.
So all those things, and I was super happy. I don't know whether everything would have been normal. I could not have felt like that, but it was super happy day for me.
So there is a myth not generally a factual thing, that generally the gender ratio in engineering college are pathetic. So did you had to face a similar situation like that in your batch?
Yes. We also had it 20 female students versus 400 male students. That kind of situation. Very. So we had it, but I could see that changing from 2018 to 2020. So even in my college, there are certain departments where that is happening. That is probably because of the work conditions that women work for face, etc. But other departments substantially increased. And other reason probably the location also. Being located in secluded Dhanbad city compared to other cities, parents are probably not willing to send their kids to this particular location. That is other reason. But now, because city expanded, there are a lot of connectivity also became easy, unlike last 10 years, etc. Now it has become a diversity increased a lot. And it helps, when you sit and you are doing a group projects, they kind of bring in a new perspective. So your thought process kind of evolves when you work with them. So that happened, yes.
So coming to your engineering days, before engineering, I would like to ask you one question. Which decision would you consider your bravest decision that might have changed your path, or that might have set you on this journey?
Before going to ISM or after?
Before.
Yeah, before going to ISM, I told you, right? Like, taking the decision of, okay, I wanted to go to ISM Dhanbad itself is the bravest decision I did. And this is the best decision that I did. That actually entirely changed my thought process, the way I look at things. I was little shy from the childhood because of the situations and the families that I come from, etc. So my personality completely kind of inverted, I would say. It opened up a lot. I met a lot of ambitious people there, and I became ambitious. I wanted to do big things, etc. So it was the best decision that I have made till date.
So coming to your college life, what would you say the two things that college taught you?
Okay, this is an interesting question. Hmm. One thing that I could think of is failures are okay. I mean, people used to get a lot. Just a second. One thing is, uh, as I was telling, failures is okay. People used to fight a lot on the CGPAs. There are a lot of competitions that are happening. So engineering college kind of, my college especially, kind of gave me or taught me failure is okay, because there are a lot of plethora of opportunities that you can fight on. The only thing is, what did you learn from those failures? For example,
Mm.
my GPA was screwed till third year, and final year I came back and I fought, and from 6 pointer to 7 pointer, like there's a huge improvement that I did. So it taught me that thing, like failure is okay, and you can fight back, you can start off again, you can fight back, you can get what you want. So one lesson is, definitely you can fail, you can come back again, you can fight back, you can come back again and again. It's okay to fail. That is one lesson that I learned from the engineering. So that is one big thing. A second thing is, probably you need to move on. That is other thing. So sometimes there are some things that happen personally, or in between friends, etc. So things won't shape out as you expected, etc. So but you need to move on. You need to, okay, this happened, that's okay, and you need to move on.
So,
So these are
so
the
when
two.
when you say yeah, accepting failures and to move on, it's very interesting, because I was going through a few articles which stated that the number of suicidal deaths in India among students are very high. So there are around 23 deaths that is happening every day in India among the suicidal deaths in students. So how do you like, you being in the engineering college, after coming into engineering, you have that perspective, you understand that, okay, if not this, then it's okay, it's fine. But those who are struggling to get into this engineering college, they somehow, if they have not got into an IIT, so why are they so stressed out? Why do they feel so much pressure that they decide to take off their lives? So how do you motivate a youngster who is watching this, and to let him understand that, okay, it's fine, you give in your 100%, but accept what the outcome will be. So it's not only IIT, there are different engineering colleges as well. Maybe you might have a goal set, but still, let's move on, let's go on with your life. How would you motivate a youngster here?
Yeah, so um, I was telling, so failures are okay. That's what I would say to them. So failures are okay, and engineering isn't the end. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Engineering isn't the end. Okay, irrespective of the college, because I've seen people who could not crack IIT, and they went to the different colleges. There they worked hard. They got GPS. They get into the companies that some IITians did. Okay, and if you look at the IIMs also, 50% of the engineering students in IIMs also are from non-IIT background. So that means,
Mm.
let your ambition should not die. It should not die
Yeah.
because you did not get into IIT. So
Mm.
you have different ambition that can be achieved. Probably IIT is one of the paths to achieve. So even if you
Yeah.
don't get there, you can achieve it with other paths. Probably you need to work
Mm.
little, 10%, 20% extra. That's it.
Yeah.
It doesn't end with just getting into IIT. And
IIT,
look,
correct.
and this is not only for the engineering students who did not get into IIT. There are a lot of students who get stressed out in IIT because now they got into IIT. and they have a lot of expectations from their parents, etc., etc. So it's not like, you don't have to stress there. Again, don't stress out. There is life beyond engineering. So I've seen people who did engineering and went into stand-up comedy, people who did
Yeah.
engineering and they went into arts. So there are a lot of plethora of opportunities. So it's engineering or any college kind of for you to explore what is going to be in
Explore.
future.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
explore. It is kind of stage for failure. You fail, you experiment, try guitar,
Yeah.
try fine
Yeah.
arts, try something else, try teaching in NGO, experiment and learn. That's it. That's what I feel. It's kind of
So, so what you used to do in college to kind of to as a stress buster? What did you used to do in college?
so I did not take that much stress at all. Um,
You did not had the stress to begin with.
yes. Not much of a stress. Initially, in the first years, I took a lot of stress. I wanted to get into that top 10%, etc. That
Mm,
kind of stress.
mm,
But after that, I did not take much stress uh,
mm,
because 6.5 is the cutoff CGPA. That kind of CGPAs
mm,
were there, 6.57. So you don't need 9 out of 10
mm,
CGPAs to get into that is one thing. The other thing is I
mm,
played a lot of games like online gaming. I played Counter Strike, etc. These used to be a lot of stress busters. Then I worked with one NGO named Kartavya, which is funded,
mm,
from uh, um, ISM Dhanbad and expanded it to different cities after that. So that I used to interact with those kids. That gave me a lot of,
mm.
reflection on what to do, etc. in the future. That kind of connected me to education sectors in the coming years. That is the other things that I did. And yes, so
Mm.
uh, I would say people who are, if I look at my topper who's daily studying, library and canteens used to be the stress busters. They used to be in the library, study for 3-4 hours, come to the canteen, probably have a cup of tea
Mm,
with the friends, chit chat.
mm,
That used to be the chat, and
mm,
other things being there are a lot of competitions that goes in. Technical competitions are there, cultural fests are there.
mm,
So
mm.
if you can take
Culture
that,
festival.
that is also one of the stress busters that people can have.
Yeah. Now coming to your final year and the time when you were looking for campus placements. So how was the environment all around when you were preparing for your placements? So what went into your preparation? What companies you were looking into? What companies were going to come? And how did the interview panned out to be?
Okay. Personally, I believe that is the first time I stressed out. Because my CGPAs were very low, and as I told you, I could not get beyond 6.5.
Mm,
I was still struggling, so that's when I realized I need to push my CGPAs beyond 6.5 ish.
mm,
So
mm,
finally, I put in a lot of effort into academics. I stopped
mm,
everything. I stopped gaming competitions, all that stuff, and I shifted my position from last bench to first bench. Started
mm,
taking notes. Every day, I used to spend a lot of time in the library, and I wanted to pull in. So that's where, in the final years, I got 7.5 CGPA in both the
mm,
semesters.
mm,
Finally, every time is usually 6.6, 6.4,
mm,
etc.
mm,
But
mm,
I put in a lot of effort for the fear of not getting placed. Oh,
mm.
the environment is very. People get stressed out because everybody sitting next to you is a competition to you.
Competition, yeah.
Yeah. And CGPA is kind of one entry. Okay, let us
Mm,
say TCS is coming to the campus. They put
mm,
6 or 6.5 CGPA. That
mm,
is just entry. Like if
mm,
there is an auditorium to sit in the seat,
mm,
you need
mm.
6.5. That's it.
Super. Mm,
For selection, again, it's your extracurricular, how you present, and there is an
mm,
exam to crack, etc. So it doesn't matter
mm,
whether you have
mm,
6.6 or 8.6 or 9.6. It doesn't matter for the company. So there,
mm,
as I told you, taking part in these competitions, looking at technical presentations, or doing a project with a professor. All this matters a lot because you could connect better with the industry in those doing internships, etc. So these will help a lot. So thankfully, probably now most of the engineering colleges have these mandatory projects. So we also did a mandatory project that helped us, in kind of placements. Unfortunately, I could not get through. First ever interview was TCS for me, and as I was telling, I was very nervous. Even
Me
the
too.
interview.
My first interview was TCS as well.
And unfortunately, there is no kind of these many resources were not there this time. There is no YouTube was not this big. Website was not this great, etc. I don't have resources to prepare from, and I personally I did not give much importance to soft skills, which are actually big thing when you're going through the interview process. So I could not clear TCS. I could not clear Damodar Valley Corporation. I could not clear Mu Sigma. I was cracking the written test, but when I go to the interviews,
so my first two were TCS and Mu Sigma.
So every time I was cracking the written test, but when I go to the group discussion or interviews, I could not express myself. That is one of the challenges students face. So that happened with me. So I could not get on campus, but after I graduated, I got into Accenture. It's an off-campus route. But yes, there is a lot of the entire first semester itself. Okay, people get excited because they have some dream companies coming there. They put in a lot of effort. It's a always bursting with energy, I would say. The campus.
So coming to like me and you, we both were non-computer science students, and then coming into IT, how would you say you had to change your approach, upskill yourself, and what did you do in order to get into an IT company? And then while working in an IT company, what was the experience that you had?
Okay. So in IT also, I would differentiate them with two things: IT products and IT services. If you wanted to get into IT services more of analytics, problem solving, soft skills. So that matters a lot. Whereas IT products, probably you need to put more effort to the coding aspects of it. So, and my goal is, someday I wanted to get into entrepreneurship, that kind of, mindset was there. So I don't want to get into IT products. So my focus is on IT services. So I prepared for that. Like, for example, in IT services, I looked at what are the different technologies that are there, SAP, and how do you service. It's more of soft skills. How do you mingle with the team? Because we have a lot of cross-functional teams, whether it's TCS, Infosys, Accenture. Some sits in Kuala Lumpur, some sits in Europe, use it in here, and there are different timings. And there is a miscommunication happen. So this, I spoke to a few friends and I prepared from there. But I did not prepare for IT products companies. That would have been a lot of effort because you need to either learn Java or start with data structures, etc. That could have been a different effort. That is a different journey that people wanted to take.
To your Accenture journey, I have seen that you have always put forward your experience in Toastmasters International. I believe it would also have helped you to get into IIM. So what was your experience with Toastmaster? How it changed your approach? And should or shouldn't people who are currently struggling with their soft skills and currently not able to present their extrovert self or not able to speak properly, would you recommend to go and would you recommend them to at least try Toastmasters once?
Yes. So yeah, as I was telling, yes, MBA is on my head from from the graduation there, because my entrepreneurship is on my head. So I thought MBA is one of the paths to get into the entrepreneurship. And obviously, when you go to the MBA, suddenly you kind of go from individual contributor to manager kind of role, wherein you work with the team, etc., and wherein you kind of speak a lot, you need to motivate people, etc. That kind of skill set is needed. And Toastmasters certainly helps in that. Not only MBA, I would say in even if you're working in the services, IT services or IT products, any company, this actually, first you kind of meet a lot of people with different perspectives. So when you're giving a speech, or when you're doing some kind of competition, or when you're organizing a meeting or something, so definitely you kind of get a different perspective. Okay, you should not do like this, you should do like this. So there is a small discussion happens and you need to convince them, or you get convinced, etc., etc. So this helps because you take these learnings to your workplace, and there you can put forth and you kind of edge there. And same thing applies to MBA also. So when you go there in MBA also, you need to do a lot of group projects, there are case competitions happening, etc. So I would definitely suggest people who are looking for, not for individual contributor, rather if you're looking for managerial role where you have a team, you wanted to lead a team, etc. For that, definitely it helps. It won't spoon feed, definitely. We have seen it won't. It will provide a platform. You need to take the initiative. You need to come up. You need to take that step. You need to put that effort. So definitely it will help people.
And that's why I would like to thank you as well, because when I was the vice president membership for Toastmaster, that was the time you come in and you were the most proactive member that we had at that time. So because of you, the Toastmasters in Accenture grew to a bigger strength, and thanks to you, when you were the president, everything changed around that. So hats off to you for your effort. Now coming from Accenture, when did you choose that now it's the time to move and change your approach and change into a different company where it's not IT anymore, and you change your perspective? When did you decide to do that?
Okay, and I would say it's happened because of Toastmasters 2015 year. So I was elected as president for Toastmasters, and that's when. So when you're a member, you are in the club. But once you become a president, you started to interact with the division people. You go out. So there are a lot of clubs there, and there are a lot of competitions. So that's when I started moving out of Accenture Toastmasters and started interacting with people. So inside also you were there, Apur was there, and he was also kind of entrepreneur. He built 2-3 websites, and you wrote some book. So already I was hitting, like there are hints coming in, and you should do what you wanted to do, etc. That kind of hints. But this helped me to, these national conferences. I met people with stand-up comedy background. All these things kind of, help me reflect on, okay, I wanted to do something. And I wrote CAT as well, and I got into IIM Ahemdabad, MDA Gurgaon, but I don't want to go there with less experience. I was looking for more experience. But I have taken, 3 years is done here. And Toastmasters may have seen these things, okay. Worst case scenario, I can come back. If nothing works, I have 3 years experience, I can come back here. So at least let me go and try. Fail fast, fail early. That's what I believed in, and I took a plunge after 3 years. That's how it happened.
And once you decided for your IIM, why did you based on your GMAT score, did you look for the colleges, or you already had IIM Ahemdabad set that I am only going to IIM Ahemdabad, and you did not consider for Bangalore, Calcutta, and it was only IIM Ahemdabad that you had prepared for?
No, I had 4 colleges in mind: ABC, IIM Ahemdabad, Bangalore, Calcutta, and ISB. So when I shifted from Accenture to a startup, the initial plan is, okay, I wanted to explore the startup and see how it works. So if it is not going as I expected, then I'll go for MBA. That was the initial plan that I went with. And I had a tremendous journey in Kondura, but I wanted to do more. So it is going well, but not that great. Okay. So I wanted to, go for, one more MBA step and explore different dimensions in the business. That is one of the reasons. And I kept, okay, if I wanted to go, I will go for ABC and ISB, and because I had 7 years of work ex. That is also one of the reasons. And the best colleges which are offering 1 year MBA in India are obviously ABC and ISB. So that these are the 4 things. And if I don't get into these things, I had few out of country colleges as well. I was looking at US, Canada, Singapore, Australia as well, because I decided I wanted to go for 1 year MBA because I have significant exposure in the work experience.
So coming to your IIM Ahemdabad journey, so it's kind of every MBA aspirant has only dreamed of IIM Ahemdabad. So once you set your foot on the ground, how did you feel about the whole entire thing that you are going to be an IIM Ahemdabad student? How did you feel about that?
More than me, my family got excited because it's a dream. 2000, I told you, right? I wrote Cat and Cat 2013.
Not only your family, the day I came to know, I got excited.
So it was like super awesome because it was, I know it is going to be, it is my dream. I am going to be there in the top 3, top 4 colleges. It was on my head. But IIM Ahemdabad is like a dream come true. I did not expect it. I had interviews for all the colleges with this course. Every weekend I was traveling to Bangalore, and startup may you work 6 days a week. It was very hectic. Even in the airport, I used to sit open on my laptop, and I was heading B2C marketing team for Condira Online. So I have 7 members in my team who are reporting to me, and there are always campaigns running. And this July to October is placement season. We operate in the placement market. So we have to run a lot of campaign, we have to take a lot of classes, etc. So it was very hectic. And my college deadlines also fall in the same timeline. So I was under tremendous pressure. I did not go home. I started my preparation from May last year. So and in between I met with an accident when I booked for GRE. So I have to take rest for 2 weeks. Still, I don't want to, move my exam date. I had given it, and whatever the score that came in, I wanted to apply. I wanted to go. So that is decided. This year, I wanted to do MBA. That I decided. So it was everything fell in place. I was super happy.
So coming to your IIM Ahemdabad application, so all the MBA aspirants might know this, that SOP is one of the most important thing that you do when you are applying to an MBA college. So what was that you had written in your SAP? A brief our viewers to understand what they should and shouldn't write in an SOP, how they should present what they are going to do, and what their goal should be, how it should be written.
Yeah. So this actually happened in 2017 December. So I thought I wrote a wonderful SOP, and I sent it to my senior who is an ISB alum, and he told me one thing. I come from this background, right, rural background. So I was telling a story, and he asked one question. Okay, are you writing this to get a scholarship, or are you going to be a manager, leading teams, or entrepreneur, or taking a business forward? So that is one question that he asked me. Then from that question, my entire SOP perspective changed. This is one mistake that usually people make. They kind of give this kind of sentiment kind of tone to their story, saying that, okay, I come from this background. Also, I achieved this much. So that is the reason you should take me into the base school. That kind of story. And even after graduation also, when people approach me, they send me these stories. And I've seen that mistake happening. I personally did. I would suggest you look at from the business perspective. Okay. You look at from your passion, like what do you want it to do? Okay. And you need to connect all of them together. Like, you have a work experience from last 4 or 5 years. How is the journey spanning out? So for example, in my SOP, I told I looked at IT business vertical, and I got exposure, international services exposure. Then I wanted to understand business better. Then I shifted to a startup wherein I was heading the entire vertical. I looked at online marketing, building a team, etc., etc. Now MBA is the logical step to get into the entrepreneurship, wherein there are gaps in there. I looked at some of the vertical in this journey. There are some of the verticals that I can learn. That is one aspect. Other thing being the peer group. So you need to fill in these logical gaps with MBA. There is a one goal or ambition, and you are here somewhere here, and MBA is, this is the gap that that point that you wanted to reach. So that's how you need to write a story. People won't take you because you are from a poor background, you have achieved so much, etc., etc. No, people take you because you are capable of taking the society forward, capable of doing good to the society, or become a better manager. End of the day, people hire you because either you can cut costs or increase the sales. So there are 2-3 things. End of the day, they are in a business. Until unless money comes in, they can't do business. They can't help people as well. So you need to think from that sustainable business. You need to think from that perspective. So you need to connect the dots, see how one MBA is going to help to reach that destination. That is the perspective that usually people should look for.
So related to the same question I have is, generally in India, whoever does engineering, either from IIT, NIT, any college, their next step is to do either give CAT, ZAT, start MBA as soon as they have completed engineering. Whereas in the West, when you see US colleges, they generally, in one of the best colleges, they always prefer to have at least 2 years of work experience. So how would you suggest the students or the aspirants who want to do MBA? Should they have an experience first and then they should do MBA, or directly do an MBA?
It's personal opinion. In my opinion, one should have experience, and that experience kind of gives to look at the business from one view. Okay, so you get to understand how it works. So when you're sitting in a class, when a professor is explaining, for example, I'm been going through these classes, so I could better relate to it when there is a discussion that can happen. And usually you have a group in your an MBA. When you have a group, you solve a lot of things using a group. And when you have you bring that to the table, you have a perspective. So I personally feel if you have an experience, then you could MBA can add a better value to it rather than if you have don't have an experience.
Yeah. So now one of the last questions I have is, during this coronavirus pandemic, and most of the colleges now moving online, and it's like a new market that has opened up. So the degrees which were the what do you call traditional way of going to college and then attending and getting a degree, don't you think that now we need more such open institutes where you can do any degree per se, right, sitting from home, or even if you're working, you should have access to that quality education. So what do you have to say about that?
Yeah, I would say online is not only the thing. So you should have a kind of a blended learning. Because end of the day, in any context you work with the people, you need to understand the people. You need to build that empathy.
Correct.
And you need to have skills. The company end of the day pays you for the skills. So hard skills or soft skills. So you need to build those. So technology can take you to one extent. So to one extent they can take you. But my opinion is you should have both offline and online blended learning. That will help you better. So only offline, only online cannot give you far, but it should be
best
a
of both worlds.
Because technology can help you save some time on one front when you're preparing for exams, etc. Whereas when you're building, when you're working on a project or something, when you have a offline setting, you can learn better from the people around you. That's my personal view.
Correct. So what would be your final message or your suggestion to students or professionals right now working? if they want to achieve their goals, or if they have already set up the goals but they're not able to plan accordingly. So what would be your final suggestion to them?
Yeah, I would again go back. This is to the college where I learned failure is okay. So,
Yeah.
and your past doesn't determine what you can do in the future. This is what I believe in. Okay.
Mm.
So, MBA was on my list from long time, and I got it. It took little time, but I wanted to do it. I was doing it. And public speaking, through Toastmasters, I had a dream of speaking in front of 300, 400 students. That I achieved when I did a presentation as a part of my company in one college in Vizag. So it happens, but it only takes time. So in the process, you fail a lot. You experiment a lot, you fail a lot. So only thing is, if possible, probably find a mentor who can help you, push forward in the direction, who can help you. Okay, this is where you are going wrong. You may need help here. You may need to correct your hobbies so that, you can do better here. That kind of things. But again, I'm telling you, your past doesn't determine what you can do in the future. That is
Correct.
one line that I wanted to quote to the people.
Okay, Sandeep, thanks for joining. But before we end, as you have shared your experience, I would also help you learn something new. I will just give me a few minutes. Simple card trick that I want you to learn. So you can see the cards with me.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is, I will, just a minute. I will help you understand also how the trick is done. But just a minute. Let me know once you can see.
Yeah.
Can you
Q.
see?
Yeah.
So I will be slowly shuffling the cards, and you need to pick a card.
Okay.
And memorize it. And then
Okay.
I will try to guess which card did you pick. Okay?
Yeah.
Done?
Uh-huh.
Have you memorized? If it doesn't work, then I will not put it in the video. Okay, let me see. Was it this card?
No.
No. Oh, it didn't work. Then let me do it one more time. Let me pick a easier card for you so that you can. Don't choose the first card, okay?
Okay.
Just a minute. This is the final take. If it doesn't work, I will not show. I've been practicing, but I have not yet mastered it. Just
Okay.
a minute.
Can you put it thoda this side? Yeah. Uh-huh.
Oh.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Okay. I got one.
Got it?
Yeah.
So, final try. Was it this card?
Yes.
Correct. Oh my God. Finally, it worked. So, the easiest way to do it is take the card, take any card, and put it slightly facing downwards.
Okay.
Like this. Keep all your cards together. So whichever card you want to show, right before that you need to slide down the other card so that it kinds of make a gap. And when you slide it, when you are shuffling it, there will be a delay when you want to show this card. So this is one of the cards that will come to that line.
Okay.
And then you just need to show them.
Okay, that's a nice trick.
So I hope I was able to help learn something new in your life. But thanks for joining, and I'm very glad that you helped share your experience. Thanks a lot, and bye-bye.
Yeah, thanks, Amit. Personally, Whose time when we are in Toastmasters also we had a lot of learnings together. So I would appreciate actually reaching out to me, get me onto your channel. Thank you very much, and I love to share this experience so that someone will benefit from this video. Yeah, thank you again.
Thank you. Bye bye.